A very good morning to you all, my dear children. Children, today we are going to do the revision of active and passive voice. What is an active voice, what is a passive voice, and how to change an active voice into a passive one. Children, an active voice tells us what a person or thing does. Okay. The subject here, the subject performs the action on the object. So the combination or the structure will be subject plus verb plus object. For example, Anna painted the house. Here Anna is the subject, painted is the verb, and what the house is the object. Then in passive voice, the passive voice tells us what is done to someone or something. Here the subject is being acted upon. So what will be the structure? Object plus verb plus subject. So for example, the house was painted by Anna. So here object comes first, that is the house was painted, verb, then by Anna, subject. Clear? So children, in active voice, the subject does an action on the object. So subject, verb, object, subject plus verb plus object. And in passive, action is done by the object. Done on the object by the subject. Here, what will be the structure? Or as I told you, object plus verb plus subject. Here, one more thing you keep in mind, that after object there will be a helping verb, then third form of the verb will be there, and most of the time we add by, then subject. Okay. So children, there are 5 steps to change active into a passive voice. First one is you have to identify what type of tense it is in the sentence. Then you have to swap, that means you have to change the subject into object and object into subject. Then you have to change the verb form, that is verb should be changed into third form of the verb. Then you have to add a helping verb before the main verb and add a preposition before the subject. Always it is not needed that we have to add by, but most of the time we add by before the subject. Okay. See, while changing the subject, which is a pronoun, to object, these are the changes which happen. Like I will change into me, he will change into him, she to her, we to us, they to them. Okay, children. So, as I told you that what is active and what is passive voice. Here you can see example. My cat caught a mouse. Here my cat is the doer, or it is doing the work, and caught is the verb, and who is being affected? Mouse is being affected. So when it is changed into passive voice, mouse was caught by the cat. Okay. So from this you can understand that active, what is a voice? It is the form of the verb which helps to identify whether the subject of the sentence is doer of the action or affected by the action. And what is active voice? The form of the verb which states that the doer of the action is subject of the sentence. Like here, the cat caught the mouse. Who is the doer? The cat. So the cat is the subject. And in passive voice, it is the form of the verb which tells us that the affected party is on subject place of the sentence. So here you can see the mouse was caught by the cat. The object changed into subject. Okay. So here one more example is given. The plants are watered by the gardener. What you have to keep in your mind is that only sentences with a transitive verb can be changed to passive voice. Okay. And what is a transitive verb? A verb with an object. The object can be noun or pronoun which gets affected by the action. So, how to find the object of the verb in a sentence? Here you see, my mother bakes delicious cakes. So here delicious cakes is the object. My mother bakes what? Delicious cakes. So delicious cakes is the object, and it is baked by whom, or who makes the cake? Delicious cakes? My mother. So my mother is the subject. Okay, here also Arjun gifted Sam a Parker pen. So Arjun gifted what? A Parker pen. So that is the object. Children, the passive voice will have the verb in the form of be plus V3. That is, be is means is, are, was, were, been, being, be. So, and V3 form means past participle form. It will have verb plus ed, en, or t, like that. Okay, you know, I know, but you know better, isn't it? The example. The chairs were repaired by the carpenter. The cake was eaten by my friends. Okay. Now here you can see the different verbs forms in different voices. That is, in active voice, what is the verb form, and in passive voice, what will be the verb form. So here 3 columns are here. In first column tenses, the second one active voice, and third one passive voice. So first, if the sentence is in simple present tense, the active voice will be in the structure of subject plus verb, that is first form of the verb or base form of the verb, and the passive in that case passive will be in the will be like subject plus is or am or are plus third form of the verb. So for example, Raju writes poems. Passive voice will become like poems are written by Raju. Third form of the form of verb write is written. Okay. Then if the sentence is in present continuous tense, that means if the active voice is in the form of subject plus is or am or are plus ing form of the verb, the passive voice will be like subject plus is or am or are plus V3 being plus V3 form of the verb. So like here example, Raju is writing poems. Poems are being written by Raju. Then comes present perfect tense. That means if the active voice is in present perfect tense, like subject plus has or have plus third form of the verb, the passive voice will be in the form of subject plus has or have plus been plus V3 form of the verb. So here example is the birds have eaten the grains. So birds have eaten the grain. So how will it change? The grain has been eaten by the birds. Okay. So like this we can change the active into passive. Now if the sentence is in present perfect continuous, that means it is active voice is in present perfect continuous, like subject plus has or have plus been plus ing form of the verb, there will be no change in the passive voice. Okay. Then coming up to past tense, if the active voice is in past tense, like subject plus past form of the verb, it will change in passive voice, it will change into subject plus was or were plus V3 form of the verb. For example, the dog lost the bone. The dog was, the bone was lost by the dog. Okay. And if the active voice is in past continuous tense, like subject plus was or were plus V3 ing form of the verb, then it will change into subject plus was or were plus being plus V3 form of the verb. Then if this active voice is in past continuous tense, like subject plus was or were plus if the subject is in if the active voice is in past perfect tense, like subject plus had plus V3 form of the verb, it will change into subject plus had been plus V3 form of the verb. Like for example, the boys had eaten all the sweets. So it will be the passive form will be all the sweets had been eaten by the boys. If the active voice is in past perfect continuous tense, like subject plus had been plus ing form of the word, there will be no change. Okay, coming up to future, simple future tense. If the voice is active voice is in simple future tense, like subject plus will plus base form of the word, it will be like subject plus will plus be plus V3 form of the verb in passive voice. So for example, the children will write the notes. The notes will be written by the children. If the active voice is in future continuous tense, then this formula will be like subject plus will be plus ing form of the word. There will be no change. Okay, so for example, the sweeper will be cleaning the streets. So here there will be no change. If the active voice is in future perfect tense, like subject plus will plus have plus V3 form of the verb, it will change into subject plus will have been will plus have plus being plus V3 form of the verb. Sorry, here will plus have plus been plus V3 form of the verb. Like example, the carpenter will have repaired the chairs. The chairs will have been repaired by the carpenter. Okay, children. Then children, if the two objects are in active sentences, two possible passive sentences can be formed. So here you can see the example. When there are two objects in an active sentence, there are two possible active sentences and two possible passive sentences. So here you can see sentence 1, the professor gave the student the books, and sentence 2, the professor gave the books to the students. So here two objects are here. Okay. So two active sentences like this. The professor gave the students book. Subject the professor, verb gave. Indirect object is the student and direct object is the books. The second sentence, subject is the professor, verb is the gave, direct object is the books, and indirect object is the students. Okay, so each of the object, that is book and students, in the active sentence can become subject in the passive sentence. Okay, children. So when we change into passive, how it will be? The students were given the books by the professor, and or in the for the second sentence, the books were given to the students by the professor. Clear, children? So when there are two objects in passive in active voice, we can make two passive sentences. Okay, children. So I hope you understood how to change active to passive voice, and go through all the exercises given, not only given the text, but do the extra questions also related to this topic. Okay, children. Thank you.